Let me turn a corner here today, and I want to bring up the tape that was played, statements Jamal Paris made regarding his homosexual love affair with the short-legged Mac Daddy. But having said that, we recognize that Eddie Long is indeed a homosexual. The thing that's most unusual about his homosexuality and his perversion is that he preaches so hard against homosexuality when he himself is one and has been one. And yeah, I made a statement the other day, what does a homosexual look like? And Eddie Long was back in his church on Monday night, back in that homosexual skin tight shirts and wearing a vest and skin tight pants all over again, as just flaunting what was the pictures posted up on YouTube that he sent out to these young men. And so we're going to see where this story goes as it continues to develop. But I want to turn a corner here and say this. Homosexuals and gays, lesbians have always placed themselves in the way that they are to be protected civilly, and that any statements that are made against them anti-gay can put you in under the civil rights penalty of the violating of civil rights if you speak against, or if you hit a homosexual or do something to a homosexual and you say that you're doing it because they're homosexual, then you are subject to a heavier penalty and punishment from the law, because of the law's attempt to punish evildoers against homosexuals. But can I share something with you that I think everybody secretly and quietly knows to be the absolute truth? First of all, homosexuality has been around for a long time. The Bible covers it as sodomites in the city of Sodom, and they're known as sodomites. They've been around for a long time. Moses issued law against sodomy. But what I want to say to you is that I don't think there's any other group of people, including the Ku Klux Klan, that has been as oppressive in terms of molestation as homosexual men have been. And they usually prey on young boys as early as 7 and 8 and 9 years old. Most young men have probably come in contact with a homosexual man who, in their puberty stage, who has accosted them. So I think that, it's one thing for men and women to get together, but for a man to accost another man, especially when they're just in their puberty stage, this has gone on, and most men can probably have a story about that. I know Don Lemon gave a story this past Saturday night on CNN about a homosexual man. So what I'm trying to say is that homosexuals are always running around asking for all kinds of protection to keep people from being evil towards them. But the truth of the matter is, in dark closets and in dark rooms and in dark homes and in dark circumstances, homosexual men pray and they don't stop praying. I mean, they just do it every opportunity they get upon young men. And, you know, the other side of this coin ought to be taught. A number of homosexual people have gotten into law enforcement, judges, and they've gotten into to the prosecuting of cases, the writing of laws in Congress and state legislators. And they've come up with these laws, and rightly so. A person should not be treated ill or beaten or robbed or murdered or harmed or injured, treated in any way because they're homosexual. That's not where I'm at. I'm willing to pray with homosexuals. I've been dealing with homosexuals as a pastor all my life. I don't have a hatred. Very seldom I even preach against. I mean, I say it's wrong, but then I go on. I don't beat down like perhaps Eddie Long did. It's wrong. The Bible says it's wrong, but the Bible says a whole lot of stuff is wrong. But what I do find to be double-standard and hypocritical here is the fact that in fact, most people, black and white, have probably in their early youth, before the age of reasoning, have been accosted by a homosexual, and they're allowed to get away with this, a la the Catholic Church. I mean, the stories that come out of the Catholic Church about priests molesting 9-year-olds, 10-year-olds, I mean, it is the order of the day. There's more molestation of young boys in the Catholic Church than there is the giving of the sacraments. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. I mean, you can even say that many of these pedophiles join the priesthood just so they can have access to all these boys. Once these young men reach age, past 14 or 15, they don't bother them no more. But in that puberty age, when they just began to be seeded, that's when and not just in the Catholic Church, but in your home, your uncles and your cousins, and it's just a mess, and somebody need to talk about it. And Eddie Long is the poster boy for that kind of behavior. He's the poster boy. And we need to make him that. But he's gone back in front of his church flaunting again those skin-tight outfits. And while these charges are being leveled against him. I'm convinced homosexuality is wrong. There's no doubt about it. It's wrong. But all of you got homosexuals in your family, and you know that you do. And it's something that's been accepted. Now, the Bible says it's wrong, and I preach that it is wrong. But what is a graver crime here is now is they're given all this publicity, they're given all this protection, and you can't say anything against them without being considered a bigot. But I can tell you, if the secret lives of all young men were told, most young men were told, they'll tell you that a homosexual grabbed them when they were 9 years old, 10 years old. They'll tell it because it's true.